Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with the Tonic Craft Kit number 12, and this one's called Hello Autumn Shaker. So yes, of course, it does have a fall theme. So this is the sheet that you'll get that comes with your kit. It'll explain all the pieces that you're getting, and then of course, you get some freebies in there, so I covered those up. They're awesome! Okay, so our paper. So you're going to get a cream weave textured, you're going to get a copper mine mirror card, you're going to get an ivory sheen pearlescent card, you're going to get a square sequins specialty paper, champagne harlequin, which is a specialty card, cardstock, and Welsh gold, which of course is the glitter. Of course, I did not read those out in the same order in which I showed them. I read them off the order in which the paper was. So, yeah, I didn't change that around. You also get the blister pack. Now, that's what Tonic will call them. You know, it is a European, UK-based company. So they're called blisters. We call them shaker pouches. So it's the same thing. Now these are a nice size. I am putting that up to a 4¼ by 5½ panel. So you may want to look at, if you want to put this in a card, a 5½ by 5½, or a 5 by 5. You get some rose gold sequins, and I love the containers for their sequins. You will never run out because they duplicate on their own. You get a mini crystal drop called Auburn Pearl. You will get a little pod or a small pod of copper blush, which is an embossing powder. The awesome aqua shimmer called Midas Touch. And, oh yeah, I will own every one of these. Yes, those right there, the vintage drops. Yeah. These vintage drops, they're vanilla milkshake. When they dry, they will dry satin, flat. Matte, well, not flat, there will still be a drop, but I mean no shine, which that's what I love. I do like that effect. Again, that is vintage. Now here I'm showing you what each of the products look like when they're down on paper. So your Midas Touch is just like the shimmer that we used before. That one's called clear. So that's like a silver tint, where this is going to have a gold tint. So now we have a silver and a gold. That's your Auburn Pearl. And then there is the vintage. Now I know you can see a slight shine there. That's because I didn't wait 24 hours. The low sheen, the matte sheen really hits once it's dry. But it is absolutely beautiful. The container is great to squeeze, so you won't have a problem there. It's very soft to the touch. Look at all these dies. You get a total of 39 dies. Now this is your stamp set, and what's great is 2 of the dies that you receive will actually cut out the sentiments. So you have lots of love and hello autumn. And again, 2 dies that will cut that out, and they cut pretty close. You also have coordinating dies for the other images on the stamp set. But these are all of your dies. So you're getting a nesting set of leaves. Now that center one, the one that's closest, that's all the way in the center, the first one, that is actually what will fit around the blister pack. So then you can come off with all of those layers. Now each layer, 2 of them have a straight edge, where the other 3 either has a stitched, a scalloped, or a piercing dot. So you get some different textures on the edge of your leaves. Now again, remember, that first leaf is just going to fit on a 4¼ by 5½ inch panel. So you need to take that into consideration. Now we have all of these leaves. Now this is how they'll look. So if you just use the outside die, you get the solid image. If you just use the inside die, you get the vine that comes up into it. If you used both of the cutouts, you can layer them. So 3 different ways to get leaves out of this stamp set. Okay, so just a lot of versatility with it. And the project that I came up with is very detailed. So there's actually only one project that's going to sit in my video. I know, you're all upset. I know. But I wanted to get this out because we are having some shipping issues coming to me, getting this kit in a timely manner. So I apologize for that. So I've already cut out some of my papers. I used 2 of the nesting dies to get this shape to go around each of the blisters. I used the copper mirror paper, and I'm using my Tonic tacky glue. So just remember that this is a very quickly grabbing. It grabs your items pretty quick. You just want to make sure that you're pushing that down onto that area and waiting for it to dry. Now on the other side, so you do have to use a liquid glue, and I would suggest a liquid glue, something that's really going to bond on that plastic. And the Tonic Crafty does. I think the Aleene's would as well, Aleene's tacky glue. I'm just on the other side of the blister, you're going to have this release paper for the stickiness, the double-sided tape that's already adhered onto it. I'm just cutting a section out of it because I want to get a section of my twine in there. And I just want it to nestle up, and plus this is going to tell me, and it kind of shows me just how strong this that adhesive is on their blister packs. It's pretty strong. It should not stand alone. I mean, it's got a good grip. I think it's great on paper, but I like to know things for everything. So you can see I have 2 piles here. I used the shimmer paper, I used the glitter paper, I used the sequined specialty paper, and I have all of these, the outer lines of the leaves cut out. Now, what you could do is you could attach 2 of them down onto the base of that twine, so you could have something that dangles in your shaker pocket. I was going to do that. I changed my mind. Again, I did very little editing on this video. I wanted you to see this entire process. So I'm taking each of the piles. I'm making sure the front sides are facing out of the pack. And now I'm grabbing the rose gold sequins. I forgot what they were called. Again, this is why I love their... I don't think I put a dent in there, in that container. Now, I also have in my stash from years ago, guys, I couldn't tell you even where I got them. Probably Amazon. Micro mini glass beads. And I think I have them in almost every color you can think of. Yeah, there's a lot of things I found as I'm rearranging this room and gutting it. But I thought they would be great as well, because these are very large pockets that you're working with. I am very carefully removing the release paper of our pack here. And I'm moving very slow. I sometimes go too fast and it goes all over the place. So I'm going to use my glue again, and I'm going to make sure that I'm getting it on the cardstock. I'm going to make sure I get some on the plastic, because I want to make sure, even though there's adhesive there, I just want to make sure that these solid panels are going to adhere. So my purple cardstock is cardstock from my stash. And what I did was I used the outer die that I used to cut the copper mirror that's going around the packet. I used that on its own, so that now I have a way to close this side up. Now you can see the twine is getting trapped in between. All right, so it's almost like we've got leaf mittens. You all know what I'm talking about. The string that we use for our children. We clip it on the one mitten, we put it through their coat sleeve, comes out the other sleeve, we clip it to the mitten. We have leaf mittens. Yeah, I think I have to do that with my husband sometime with those things. I go through more gloves for him. Yes. So anyway, back to the card. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Are you all curious about what I'm going to do with this yet? So again, I'm going to grab the purple, and I'm just making sure that the right side is facing out. Now, to do this, you want to make sure that everything was matching. So it needs to be a complete mirror image. So no matter if you have the good side facing or the bad side facing, you still have the same image. Okay, so you just want to make sure that that happens. So when we turn these around, again, we have these two beautiful pockets just filled. And you could have kept on filling these. I mean, this only, I think, filled a quarter of it. So what do we do with these? You could leave them like this. Absolutely. You could hang them over a door or a wreath hanger. I'm going to glue mine two together because now what I've created is an ornament. So, believe it or not, I do have a Halloween fall tree. I also have Christmas trees. But I actually am building a fall and Halloween Christmas tray. So, or a Halloween and fall tray. So this is actually going to go on my tray. It's a nice size ornament. It makes some great sound. You could just hang that over a doorknob. So this is like a home decor item. But I'm actually almost touching every single item that was in the kit. I'm going to grab a scratch piece of cardstock, and I've prepped it with my anti-static tool, and I'm going to use my Nuvo clear mark ink, and I'm going to stamp the image for autumn. Now, I do have a bigger size of the copper blush, so I'm going to use that instead of opening up and breaking the seal on the copper blush one. So I'm just going to make sure that's well coated, and then I'm going to heat set that and make sure it's all melted throughout. Once that's all melted, I'm going to use the die, and I want to cut that out because somewhere I'm going to, it took me a while to find the location of where exactly I wanted to put this sentiment. And the reason being, I did not want to cover up the leaf. The packet. It's really, I wish the camera did just a little bit more justice on when it shows. It just doesn't. It's a shame. I did use the vintage photo. Yep, even one project, the vintage photo comes in. And I'm going to adhere this. Eventually it gets down on the bottom right hand corner, and I'm only going to put it on one side. So if you do that, just turn it around if you want to see the shaker side the whole time. Now, what you also could have done on the purple cardstock that's backing all of this, you could have adhered those leaves. You could have made them double layers. You could have just had the layers put in there. So whatever you would want to do, you could, absolutely. I mean, again, this is inspiration. I chose to do the solid because I wanted the papers to shine through. I love their papers, and I'm trying to break my habit of hoarding their papers, although I'm still trying to do it. So that is our project. This is something else. It doesn't have to be a card. I think we all know how we could create a card when it comes to that. I know we were looking probably for inspiration, but again, something else, a different way to use what we have. Maybe you have those blisters in other shapes, other forms. This is something that you could do. Make an ornament out of it. So we don't have to limit ourselves in our creativity to just cards. We can step outside of that box and try other things. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so. You don't want to miss any more videos that are coming and all the fun events that are coming, that are coming up. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. all of the products that I used will be listed down below in the video description. Now remember, this is number 12. I know they are in the process of placing orders for number 13. At this time that I am filming this, it is available, number 13. Number 12 is no longer available. When it comes to number 13, you can purchase a one-off, a quarterly subscription, or a monthly subscription. Just know that once the kit sells out, the links do close up. So if you're trying to click on a link and it's not working, that means that kit is no longer available. That means on the 6th or the 7th of, in this case, September, keep an eye out, and that's when they will launch for number 14, and you will be able to see all the wonderful items that are in that kit, and you will be able to place an order or subscribe to this kit so you don't miss anything else. Again, your kits start shipping at the end of that month. So at the end of September, beginning of October, that's when kit number 13 will start shipping. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's a little confusing, and trust me, it took me a while to get this down to make sure that I was giving the correct information. So again, I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope you enjoyed your weekend, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.